Salvador.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Adriana Rivas, and I stand here before you representing my beloved El Salvador. El Salvador is a country that is recognized for its resilience. But I ask you, where does this resilience come from? History of natural disaster, civil war, terrorism that struck the streets shortly after. Many people were forced to flee their homes in order to seek asylum, in hopes that another land would grant a better tomorrow. Today, El Salvador has hope, even in the most vulnerable of communities. People are no longer controlled by fear. Many people are no longer controlled by fear. Despite this, silence remains a part of Salvadorian culture, and many people continue to stigmatize mental health. For this reason, there is not nearly enough support in El Salvador when it comes to mental health. For example, the World Health Organization says that there are 0.1 psychiatrists for every 100,000 people in El Salvador. What does this mean? It means that lives are on the line every single day. So how do we break a silence that has been rooted into the veins of the people for so many years? I say we start with the children, a generation that is in dire need of access to mental health care so that suicide doesn't have to be the second cause of death among children between the ages of 15 and 19 years old. Mente en Voz Alta is a campaign born from my struggles as a child. I did not feel free to voice my concerns when it came to mental health, in fear that I would be stigmatized, in fear that I would be labeled as crazy or problematic. When I was 20 years old, I decided to ask for help. This is when I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, a condition that not only transformed my life, but also saved my life. Through my experience with silently struggling, I decided that I needed to help support other people break the silence from an early age. I reached out to the Ministry of Education. I reached out to members of my community that were inspired to help the cause. Through patience and determination, I was able to build a team to 11 out of 14 departments in my nation to teach children about the importance of asking for help, suicide prevention, self-care, and self-love. Small things that can transform a person's life, even through the most difficult of situations. El Salvador is not an outlier when it comes to mental health stigmatization. It is only a drop in an ocean full of struggle that the world faces today. Universally, people endure the trials of famine and poverty and grief. But there is a common denominator when it comes to these struggles of the world. It is the universal desire to be heard. When we speak about the moments in life that debilitate us, we make room to cope, to hope, and to dream on, even when life tears apart our minds and our bodies. As Miss World, it would be my mission to be the voice of those people who are too afraid to stand up for themselves, those people who struggle in silence every single day. Because I know that by expanding my campaign, Mente en Voz Alta, by partnering with ministries, schools, and global organizations like UNICEF and the World Health Organization, I can create change and I can inspire. Because when we speak, we break stigma, we heal, and we show the world that we are unified as one. Thank you all for granting me the opportunity to stand before you today. My hope is that by leading through example, I can encourage each and every one of you to stand with pride, to stand with courage, and without a shadow of a doubt, that you too have the power to change lives every single day.
Thank you, El Salvador. And now we welcome French Guiana.